Hello and welcome to the Power Rankings podcast presented by Energizer. I am Dan Hansis, joined by my lovely co-host Colleen Wolfe as we take you through everything that is going on in our league in terms of the Power Rankings. That's what the show is. Connie, how are you?
Hello, Dan. I'm back from Germany. I've taken multiple bye weeks this year. I wouldn't say that I'm feeling refreshed exactly, but feeling good about doing the show. That's for sure.
Are you, though? Can we expect Connie for the rest of the season? Where are we at?
Well, I'm going to try to avoid, I think at this point I've gotten every sickness that is out there. So I should have pretty good immunity if that's how it even works anymore. So I think we're going to be good. I think we'll be okay, at least until Super Bowl.
All right. I hope so. Connie, it's great to have you back. And, we're going to go through all the power rankings 1 through 32. You could see my full rankings, the column on NFL.com/power rankings. And you know what, Connie, before we get into quad one, I just want to say that this is the strongest and most confident I've felt about both the order in the top 5 of the league and the teams themselves all season, which to that, I also follow up and say, what could go wrong after making such a statement in this season in particular?
Well, that's kind of surprising to me, considering that Sunday, you even said it on the Around the NFL podcast that like teams kind of woke up and were like, I just don't know about today. Like there were a lot of stinkers. I don't really know what to do with the Ravens. There's a couple teams that at this point we're going into week 12, and every other year, I think we would have a good idea what like the most of the top teams are in the middle and the back end, but there's still just so many teams that are in the gray area, hovering in and out of it. It's just kind of like a mysterious year.
It is. And just to clarify my stupid theme from the Sunday Around the NFL podcast flagship program, it wasn't the teams that woke up on the wrong side of the bed and in a nasty little mood. It was like football itself.
The entire NFL.
The embodiment of week 11 and professional football was a nasty little thing in week 11. And we're going to see what happens in week 12. Let's check out what we call the first quadrant and those top 5 teams. The Kansas City Chiefs, for the first time all season, the first time since the division playoffs last year on these rankings, they are number 1. They jump ahead of your Eagles, Connie. Sorry to say they fall 1 spot to number 2, but still they're in a good position. The Cowboys jump up 5 spots after dropping an A-bomb on the Vikings. The Bills up 1 spot. They get right in Detroit against the Browns. The Niners, man, I was tempted to put them up even higher after that dominating showing against the Cardinals in Mexico City. And then you have the Titans up 3 spots off their win against the Packers on Thursday night. The Dolphins, a victim of a bye week, but still coming at number 7, dropped 3 spots. And the Ravens, even with the win over the Panthers, down 2 spots. Let's start with number 1. And yes, the Chiefs for the first time this year, Connie. And I think it's not that they played a perfect game against the Chargers because they didn't. And the Chargers are not a superpower. They're so beat up that this isn't necessarily a win that's like, whoa, I can't believe what they did to this opponent. It was more, I couldn't look away anymore when you say, who's got the best quarterback and who's the team you trust most right now to go the whole way. And I think right now with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce by his side, I just think the Chiefs are the best team in football, and that's why they have the spot.
They are, especially with the way that the Bills and Josh Allen have looked lately, just with the little mistakes and Josh Allen making some of those 2018 type mistakes. But you know what I texted you after Sunday Night Football? You, Mark Sessler, Greg Rosenthal.
You were mad.
As this game was finishing.
Or drunk. I couldn't tell.
I was, you know what? I was sick. All right. I'm sick for a lot of different ways, but I was watching this game, and towards the end, Justin Herbert, he throws the touchdown. It looks like everyone's so excited for the Chargers. And I'm on the couch watching the game with my husband. And I just looked at John and I was like, I already know what's going to happen. Like this is boring at this point, and it shouldn't be boring. And I'm so spoiled I'm watching the Chiefs. I know exactly what's going to happen. Patrick Mahomes had way too much time, and of course he's going to march right down the field and throw a touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, and they're going to win again and beat the Chargers because that's what they do in this division every single time these teams play. I feel like I've seen this story I've read the story, I've seen the movie, I've read the story. And I just should not be upset about it, but I was because I just
shouldn't.
for once. I just
really
want the Chargers for once to like be good and to pull out a win at the end.
I get that. The Chargers are kind of a lovable team. They're an underdog here in the market where we live, and you kind of want to see them finally kick the football. But you're right. They left too much time on the clock. And, I talked about it on ATN, so I'm not going to dwell on it here. But when NBC flashes up that graphic that the Chiefs had a 24% chance of winning the game as Mahomes takes the field with 1:46 to play, it was like laughable because you should know better. Like the analytics somehow need to know better that this is no ordinary quarterback. And, I was texting with Greg Rosenthal. On Monday, we had a little bit of a back and forth about Kelce v. Gronk, the best tight end of our generation. And there was a stat from our research team that Kelce, it was his 34th game with at least 100 yards receiving, which surpasses Gronk for the most by a tight end in NFL history. 8 of his 11 touchdowns, this also from the research group, which is great, have come in primetime games. And Greg responded because he's a Gronk guy, he's a Patriots guy. Big time players, big time games. And it is wild that to me, the Chiefs, it looks like they're going to host the AFC title game for the 5th straight year. And I know it could be boring, but this is greatness. And part of me is like, we should appreciate it because it won't last forever. And they're just, to me, the Chiefs more likable than the Patriots before them. So I'm kind of in on this.
Well, I mean, like, honestly, don't get me wrong, because I really like the Chiefs. That was just like my thing with Chiefs Chargers games. I feel like I already know what's going to happen before the game is even played. But the Chiefs have been so much fun to watch. Isaiah Pacheco, he looks great. His blocking, not so much, but he's a really explosive runner. And I feel like he kind of brings that run game to life, which is something that they've needed for so long. So the Chiefs at this point with a 3-game lead on the Chargers, when all we did in the offseason was talk about this AFC West. I mean, come on, like that's it. It's done.
We should have known better, all of us in the football cognoscente. Let's talk about your Eagles. They dropped to number 2 after 2 weeks at number 1 in the power rankings. They won, and so I'm not going to kill them, even though it was against an opponent that they probably should have handled in the Colts with a little more ease. It's not easy to go through a whole season. There's a grind aspect to it, but they do drop out of the number 1 spot because that is back-to-back weeks where they've looked pretty vulnerable, Connie. And, it's something to keep in mind as you look down the stretch. Are the Eagles in a bit of a funk now? What do you think?
Well, I think that the offense does not look anything like it did before without Dallas Goedert. And that has been sort of the key. It's why they looked so sluggish this week. I think it's a big part of the reason why they lost to the Commanders last week. But their other tight ends, they just aren't doing the things that Dallas Goedert can do. So the offense is just slower. It's just everything looks more laborious at this point. I was happy with the way that the run defense kind of adjusted, because that first possession with Jonathan Taylor, I was a little worried. Really was sweating that. Jonathan Taylor just ripped off some beautiful runs and then the eventual touchdown. But it wasn't until that 4th quarter play where Jalen Hurts was running around, kind of course corrected, pulled a U-turn, and then finds the opening, gets the first down and more. And ultimately, he throws that touchdown to Quez Watkins. So it just looked like it was so much harder and way, against a team that they should have beat. You have Jeff Saturday doing push-ups on the field before the game. You have to come in and dismantle this team. I don't know what that was about.
Wait a second. That was on my radar. We love when Dan Campbell does up downs. We have an issue though with Jeff Saturday doing push-ups.
Yeah. I guess that's something I have to unpack within myself.
You're talking Dallas Goedert. I want to talk Dallas Cowboys, because if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm very nervous about the division. The Cowboys, what they did to the Vikings And you got to look at the whole picture.
I know.
I mean, a week earlier, they blew a 2-touchdown lead to the Packers, a desperate Packers team. So it's not like the Cowboys are unstoppable, but they are one of the teams, and we're going to get to the Niners as another, that when they get into their top gear, they're pretty frightening and a lot to deal with. So they have one game lead, the Eagles do on the Cowboys, but this feels like a team that could really dominate down the stretch.
Well, especially because the Cowboys, look at the way that they are playing on both sides of the ball. Michael Parsons is just destroying. He destroyed Kirk Cousins. I mean, Tony Pollard is that guy. He was so explosive, just fighting for yards with dudes hanging off his ankles. Like, he is so good. The catch after
Get
the
off my
run,
ankles.
like, oh my goodness. And then the CeeDee Lamb catch. Are you kidding me? He was just like, all of a sudden he turned to stone like a statue and like fell over with his feet in bounds. It was a thing of beauty, and I hated to watch it. But I'm really nervous about the Cowboys, especially the way that they're playing right now. I can't believe that the Vikings did what they did. I mean, they didn't put up a fight in this game at all. So Dak had a season high completion percentage. Everything is looking good for them. I'm a little concerned, but they do have another division game on Thanksgiving with the Giants. So
look out, Giants.
We'll see if they can. I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm sweating.
Don't sweat it. I'm a little annoyed, I have to be honest, with the Cowboys opponent in week 11, the Vikings, because you know, Connie, that they are a team that, despite their really stellar win-loss record, on this particular power rankings, I had been reticent to put them up in the top 3 until they beat the Bills last week. And then I kind of begrudgingly said, well, there it is. Let's give them their flowers. And then what do? They get absolutely housed in their building by the Cowboys. Oof. So I dropped them, down to number 9, 6 spots. It doesn't mean I'm out on the Vikings, but it does in some level, to me, like, it's where they belong. I think the Vikings are a team, their record's deceiving. They have a negative point differential now. And you could say, well, yeah, because they were minus 37 in one game. But it just speaks to how many close games they won this year and the possibility of regression. So I think the Vikings are a top 10 team, but they really do feel like this is where they should be. This is where they belong in this 8-12 stretch, rather where they were last week at 1-3.
So the Vikings overall are kind of making you feel good about your rankings. Like you said in the beginning of the show, that you feel the most comfortable at this point in power rankings. Like, are the Vikings a key part of that? Yes,
absolutely. And you could say, and maybe this is like a little deeper dive into how the sausage gets made. Should I have stood my ground even after the Bills game and not moved them up? But then you're kind of just being stubborn for stubborn's sake. It's not the power standings, but at the same time, that was a really impressive win that got them to 8-1 at the time. So I don't regret it, but this does feel right. Also, it feels right, Connie. I had the Bills back at 4, but the Niners at 5. Let's talk about the Niners. Like, do you think that the Niners are a team that should be higher in these rankings?
The Niners have been that team for you all year from the very beginning.
They were number 3 back in early September. Know. That's true.
And you got so much heat for that. That was the opening of power rankings. And ever since then, they have kind of meandered around. And the fact that they are playing right now with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're looking really good. Like, the Yak Bros are back. George Kittle was like cruising around. This team, I think, is kind of set right now for another postseason run. They're scary. They're healthy. They look really, really good. And also the Cardinals, it's tough to really put a ton of stock into the game against the Cardinals, but they did pretty much dismantle them. So that does help me with this ranking so high. Like, I like the Niners a lot.
As a Hard Knocks aficionado, Connie, as we both are, I think I don't think the Cardinals deserve to be on Hard Knocks this season. I am not watching that. Miss me with the Hard Knocks Cardinals show, because this team isn't invested in the season. Why should I be invested in a show about their season? That was a hard watch, especially in the second half. And I know Kyler Murray obviously was out, but you got to give credit to the Niners. Their ability to at this point, now that they're finally healthy, get all their skill players involved. Christian McCaffrey said after he came over that when he's in the huddle, he feels like he's in a Pro Bowl huddle. And you just, as a Niners fan, you hope they stay healthy. But if they do, look out, because it's not just the offense. It's a very physical, good defense. I think this team is built for a January run. They always seem to figure things out in time for the playoffs. And I think they are very hard out. Obviously, I have the Cowboys and Eagles ahead of them in the conference, but man, it is close, and that could flip as soon as next week. Let's finish out some top 10 talk, Connie, with the Titans. I want to give the Titans a little some flowers here. Let's give the Titans some flowers.
I thought the flowers was over. I thought we were done with that. I thought that was on.
I like flowers.
I thought we canceled giving flowers. I thought that was over.
I think that was like a surly Sessler Sunday, and he got mad at Greg. I didn't have anything to do with it. So I will hand out flowers to the Titans, up 3 spots to number 6. And I'm higher. I understand this. I'm a little higher on Green Bay than everyone else who sees them as dog poop. But I was still impressed by Tennessee going to Lambeau and really taking it to a Packers team that needed that game in the worst way.
I like the Titans right now. I think their passing game has really good momentum, which it's nice to see them find some balance on offense. Ryan Tannehill, he had his best game. I mean, and it was an island game too, so that helps them as well. It was a career night for Treylon Burks. He had that 51-yard catch that kind of sealed the game up, but he was targeted a bunch of times, caught 7 passes for over 100 yards. I mean, I think that you have Robert Woods' chemistry getting better and better with Ryan Tannehill. There are a lot of things that are looking up for this team, a lot of positives. Their tight ends look good as well. So I'm really interested in their next game against the Bengals on Sunday.
Yeah, that was huge. The passing game showing up, and the Packers are probably pulling their hair out watching the game tape because they're thinking to themselves, if we stop Derrick Henry, we're winning this game. And they stop Derrick Henry, and then they can't stop Ryan Tannehill, who they thought was limping into their building on a bad ankle, and instead he shreds him. And I thought that Mike Vrabel is so underrated. I know he gets Coach of the Year and this stuff, but we don't talk about him like as a football public enough as one of the great coaches in the league. I just loved, the heat check, the swagger check of that 50-yard bomb from Tannehill to Burks that iced the game inside 2 minutes. They didn't have to do that. They could, maybe the analytical strategy there was just run the ball 3 times and then punt it and get one more stop. But to do that shows that we were feeling good about our passing game, which hadn't been the case all year. So
I like that.
Yeah. Can they do this in January? Well, we've seen it. They haven't gotten over the hump and gotten out of the AFC, but they profile as an interesting team. You want to check out the second quadrant? Why don't you take us through the second quadrant, Connie?
I would love to do that. Here we go. So we got the Vikings, who we already talked about, down 6. The Bengals up 1, along with the Bucks as well. We got the Seahawks up 2. Patriots at 13 up 2. Your Jets, buddy. I'm sorry. At 14, down 4 spots. We're going to leave them alone for a second. They could use a little timeout. At 15, you got the Giants. Back-to-back New York teams down 2 spots, and then the Commanders up 1 spot.
How about that?
16. How about it? So, where do you want to start here? You want to start with?
Let's talk Bengals. Let's talk about the AFC champions.
I like that. I had picked the Steelers, and I was like lone wolfing it, and I was really hoping that the Steelers, I just kind of, on a prayer was like, you know what? I think the Steelers could maybe be frisky here. Didn't really work out for me at all. But they look good. Yeah.
I know that game day morning, they have that lone wolf bit on NFL Network, but I feel like that should be your IP with the last name and the E on the end.
You're not wrong.
How about a little artwork? How about maybe we build it out a little bit and we make it a thing?
I think that's, they can't be mad at me for using my last name. So yoink.
No, Cincinnati's another team, Connie, I haven't been right on all the teams in the power rankings this year, but we're talking about a few teams in this segment, which is why I like this segment a lot right now, that I was right about. I've kept Cincinnati in and around the top 10 pretty much all season, even when their record would dictate that they should be lower, because I just see so much potential in the team. And you're seeing that now. They didn't play a perfect game against Pittsburgh. Joe Burrow took some abuse from TJ Watt and company. He threw 2 interceptions, but man, he is nails, and playing in cold conditions. He was just spinning that ball. He is my favorite quarterback to watch on a weekly basis.
Also, can we talk about Samaje Perine? What?
How about that?
With the hat
3
trick?
touchdowns.
I loved it. Like, you have whatever is going on with Joe Mixon and his concussion. Like, they have the horses on this roster to make the plays that they need. I mean, the Bengals are getting a lot out of their running backs right now, because even Mixon had that big day before the bye. So you had that screen pass to Samaje Perine for the touchdown. You had the receiving touchdown that put them up 7, and then the last one as well. Plus, T. Higgins, I think, is stepping up huge without Chase, Trenton, Irwin too. I mean, what? Who are you? Hi, nice to meet you. I'm excited for this guy. First
How
career.
Is that not a thing? He actually looks like the great late Steve Irwin a little bit.
Oh, I didn't really think about that.
That's
with the hair
Halloween
and everything.
costume.
You're right. Oh my God. Yeah, I love Blondie. Okay, so
the only thing I don't like is the alternate uniforms of the.
You don't like them?
No, it's just a mess.
What? Come on.
It's just,
I love them.
All right. Sure.
I think they're great. They're clean until they don't get clean. I like the black and white. It feels like a classic look.
The Patriots are 13.
Can
we talk the Patriots a little bit? Because everything, let's go to the twilight zone of the power rankings. Of course, the number 13 spot. When I don't know what to do with a team, I just stick them at 13 and think about something else. And that's what the Patriots are. And maybe partly because I don't want to dwell anymore as a Jets fan on what happened in Foxborough. But beyond that, I think after this game, NFL Twitter had an absolute meltdown about Zach Wilson and how he's the worst human being on the planet after his game, which was terrible. But then I'm looking at it from the New England side. They didn't get really much analysis, I feel like, and they deserve it because that defense is not as good as the glory days, the best defenses of the good old days, but we're seeing, just like the good old days, this time of year when a quarterback goes into that building and is vulnerable, they get embarrassed. And so the defense is going to win games. My question, Connie, is what about that offense? And they scored 3 points in 4 quarters against the Jets. They won on a punt return. And I just don't trust it in a big spot against good competition.
You shouldn't trust it. And it almost feels like 13 is too high for them. But then I look at the teams behind them, and that feels like the right spot. But this was such a tough watch. This game, it was so tedious to kind of go through, because I thought it was going to end in a 3-3 tie. Like, they go to overtime, and then it just stays
I would
at
have
3-3.
taken that.
And honestly, I think that they deserved that. But Marcus Jones came up with the huge play at the end, and the block in the back also kind of, played into it as well.
Can we just move forward?
I know. Listen, you brought up the Patriots game, and the Jets are a part of it, because if we're going to talk about defenses, the better defense, I thought, was the Jets. Like, they made so many plays.
All right, Connie, you got me. I think the Jets are the better team. They just have a quarterback. He's totally.
Why don't you have him above the Patriots?
Because they got a quarterback that's totally adrift, and the Patriots swept the Jets in back-to-back meetings over 3 weeks. So to put the Patriots behind the Jets would be ludicrous. But at the same time, it's just listen, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I can't do it. I know it's my job, but the New England Patriots, I'm watching that game and I'm like, really? This team swept us? But
I know
that, back to my point,
for years,
have to give credit, and a lot of that obviously goes back to the coach and Belichick, who knows how to take the lunch money of quarterbacks that aren't ready for it. There were boos, though, in Foxborough, and a lot of them were directed at Matt Patricia, an offensive coordinator that many think is overmatched and not qualified for the job. Very conservative game plan. So I'm curious if the Patriots open things up a little bit. They have a big Thanksgiving game as well.
Yeah, and they tried so many times to use Ramondre Stevenson to get the short yardage for the first downs multiple times. Again, the Jets defense stood tall, stuffed them, didn't get it. I mean, they really can't move the ball at all. And Matt Patricia needs to figure out a way to scheme things up, make things easier for Mac Jones. I don't know how they do it, but nothing is working at all.
It's the passing game, and you could look at Jones's completion percentage, which is very good, and they moved the ball into Jets territory several times, but it's hard work at the passing game. Let's end with a team that I think qualifies as one of the biggest surprises of November, if not the biggest surprise. It's the Commanders. The Commandos, they've won 4 or 5. How about that NFC East, Connie, where you even have the Commanders now above 500 for the first time since week 1, and looking, I'm not saying they're spicy, but they are frisky.
Listen, this team it's fun. And I know that I shouldn't really like them at all. And normally they're a boring team that's completely vanilla. And I'm just not into anything that's going on in Washington. But all of a sudden they're doing things that have my attention. Like even Taylor Heineke, it's so petty and I absolutely love it, but he gets a new pair of J's in opponent's colors after every single win. So that panders to me. I love it. It's perfect. And of course, like I'm a turncoat because the pair he got for beating the Eagles was absolutely beautiful. This pair of white 4s with green accents, just like gorgeous. And now I can't get them because I know that Taylor Heineke has them. So it's just like a whole psychological thing.
Wow. What a nightmare for a true sneakerhead, Colleen Wolfe.
I saw it and I was appalled, but also I couldn't stop like scrolling through which ones he got.
You know what's funny? Like I could picture, because I know your husband well too. I love John Gonzalez. I could picture Connie and John with the dogs laying at their feet in the living room having a conversation about this for like 45 straight minutes.
These shoes are beautiful. And of course, they were 4s too, which are my favorite. But I do like too that Ron Rivera, enough about that. Speaking of Heineke,
I want that to be what this podcast is now. Like Connie just talking about sneakers she wants.
I would love that. You have no idea how many tabs on GOAT I have clicked wanted. Like I have a list that I'd spend way too much time on there. And
it sounds like a podcast that I would never listen to unless you were involved.
Oh my God. Well, let's do it. Let's do the sneaker pod. Let me show you. Come over to the dark side. But I do like that Ron Rivera is like, okay, we're going to go with Taylor Heineke, even when Carson Wentz is better.
Yeah, and he had to do that. Come on now.
Well, so
right?
Ron Rivera, after the game, was asked about his whole thought process in choosing Heineke over Wentz, not just now, but obviously when Wentz is healthy. And I thought that you would appreciate this whole exchange.
What was it Taylor has shown you to lead you to this decision?
Winning.
Yes. Do you think, wouldn't it have been amazing if he went full Chaz Sheen though? Winning.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my God, does Dan know about this?
Obviously, I'm a warlock and it's about winning.
Yeah.
If people
but the
aren't
defense
aware,
is good. Oh, I don't know.
If people aren't aware,
explain it.
I am very serious about bringing back Charlie Sheen catchphrases from 2010 in 2023. It's a passion of mine. Colleen talks about wanting the 4s or whatever. I want Charlie Sheen's lexicon back in 2023. Tiger blood.
Wait, and Dan, how many years has this been a crusade for you?
Well, it's been building, Colleen. It's funny you should ask, and thank you for asking. I've been annoying my Around the NFL colleagues by saying it before we go on air for about 10 to 11 years, but only now am I ready to truly take this to the mainstream and try to make it a thing in terms of bringing it back to the general population. So Gen Pop.
Well, it sounds like a collab with Ron Rivera.
I like it. All right. Good stuff. But the Commanders, I don't know if I'm buying in, but listen, there's a lot of things not to like about the Commanders, about the way the operation is run, the stories that come out about the team and the idea and the reality that they most likely will be sold. And that will change a lot about the team next year, potentially. But for the fans, who just like rooting for their local football team or the team that they follow, wherever they are, this is nice to have a team with some juice, and Chase Young on his way back to reform my favorite pass rushing duo in the league, Young and Sweaty. Welcome back to Power Rankings, the podcast presented by Energizer. I just ended up, Colleen, on a list of famous Charlie Sheen quotes.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the list. I'm tired of pretending I'm not a total rock star from Mars. I feel the same way at times, Charlie. Here's the third quadrant. With that said, I'm tired of it. Chargers. They lose to the Chiefs, but I've given them a little courtesy bump up to 17. Fair play. The Lions. Oh, yes, the Lions up 3-18. Packers down 3-19. Falcons up 2-20, but they lose Kyle Pitts potentially for the year with knee surgery. Unfortunate there. Tough year for Pitts. Saints up 2. I'm not buying, but they're at 21. Cards down 3 after no showing in Mexico City. I know Colt McCoy was playing and not Kyler Murray, but that team has some very, very deep issues that I think goes back to the coach. Bears down 3 to 23 with Justin Fields' health all set it up in the air, and the Browns are who the Browns are, exactly the 24th best team in football. Let's start with those Chargers, Connie. We talked about it a little bit. You were bumming that they couldn't have a moment there on Sunday Night Football, but you saw some good things too about, what this team looks like when they have some of their guys on the field.
I did. It's like, I just want them to have one moment, because they're not going to win this division. Like, this is the Chiefs. At this point, they've been swept by the Chiefs. They have 2 straight primetime losses on Sunday night. They kind of railroaded their place in the division race anyway, but Justin Herbert looked as good as he has in a while, and It really helps having Josh Palmer out there and then the return of Keenan Allen. But Josh Palmer has been legit. I mean, he had a career day, 8 for 106 and the 2 touchdowns. It's just such a shame that they can never catch a break with these injuries. Mike Williams, he had just come back from the ankle sprain, and then he hurt it again on his first catch in the first quarter. So it's tough for them.
Can I just say about that? And you can't control these things in a lot of cases, but this is not the first Chargers star who's either, as it turns out, come back too soon or been left in a game they shouldn't have been playing. And maybe Mike Williams could have rested another month and come back and done the same thing. But it's just, you've seen it too many times this year now. I like the Cardinals. I do have questions about how this team is run, but yeah, I think the Keenan Allen of it all, the fact that he was able to come back and be Keenan Allen is really going to help Justin Herbert. And I think the bye week and getting further away from that rib injury, you're going to see Herbert looking like Herbert. Are they able to win enough games here? I think they're a 500 team now and not stub their toe and get to 9 or even 10 wins to get the playoff berth. I don't know, Connie. Like, their history tells us they're going to blow it like they always do, but that's also not how you analyze this. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they have the Cardinals next week, so they could get to 6-5, obviously. But Keenan Allen, having him with that kind of vintage Keenan Allen performance, like, that is promising for them. He had that great 46-yard grab, set up Palmer's second touchdown. Like, he really helps this offense move and provides that spark that they need. So maybe just having him back can kind of help them out, because it was a competitive game against the Chiefs. Like, they were right there, and then it just didn't happen.
Do you know what's the biggest thing standing in my way, obstacle-wise, in terms of the Sheenaissance?
Like, a Chargers helmet here.
Oh, boy,
like,
Connie.
I think I am a closet Chargers fan. Go ahead, yes.
But, yeah, let's be serious. The biggest issue with the Sheenaissance is that nobody else wants it. I've never gotten any social media feedback like, hey,
what? We're talking about Charlie Sheen again.
Good idea, Dan. I've never heard any of my work friends and colleagues be like, oh, man, yeah, keep pushing this. And that,
no, I think you should.
Should that give me pause? Perhaps. And yet it won't. I will continue to forge on with the Sheenaissance in 23.
You got to be your own man in this world.
Thank you very much, Colleen. Quadrant 4, It gets dark.
Okay, so
Oh, listen to this.
let me just.
It sounds like someone finally watched The Godfather.
I did not realize that I've never seen The Godfather. In my head, I kept mixing it up with Scarface
Don't do it.
and
Don't say
Goodfellas.
it. Ugh,
I know. And
don't say it.
I'm just now dialing in to the greatest movie ever made. And all I want to do now is talk about The Godfather. So these
Hey,
teams,
Colleen, did you know that there's a sequel also?
there's a sequel? Wait, I have such
There's a
blind
third
spot.
one too, but don't worry about the third one.
Wait.
I would say the second one might be better than the first one. Just no spoilers.
I went out. We have some Francis Coppola wine that I drank while watching it. So anyway, the reason why we're playing the mandolin right now and
Yes.
this like Godfather-esque theme is because teams 25 through 32 are sleeping with the fishes.
Oh, she got there.
I got there. I did it. Steelers 25, Raiders at 26, Colts 27, Rams 28. I mean, the Jags down 1 at 29. You got the Broncos, Panthers, and Texans right there at the end. But, I mean, Dan, The Godfather? Have you seen this amazing film? Do you know about it?
I have seen The Godfather many times. I do enjoy it. I really was hoping you weren't going to do the thing like I've seen Scarface. I wasn't sure if I've seen Godfather, but you did it.
I did it.
And we're just going
I
to move
did it.
past it. We're going to
I
process
know.
it.
So I'm so not dialed in on this that I didn't even know that that was a thing. So it's like you can't. I'm sorry. Like I'm
Have you
here
seen-
to
Have you seen
apologize for
Goodfellas?
my sins. No, I don't think I don't know if I've seen any of them, to be honest now. I'm not sure. But I'll tell
Okay.
you what. I have a flight coming up. So I'm going to download all 3 of them. I'm going to rewatch The Godfather because I just love it so much. It's amazing.
Have you seen the
And
Rams?
you gotta watch The
Because
Offer.
they are quite disappointing, aren't they?
It's a wrap for them. I mean, especially if Stafford is out now for any length of time with the concussion. It's just.
Do you think there's any chance,
disaster.
Colleen, that they could end the season number 32, which would be kind of cool, actually, in a
No,
perverse way?
the family would not like this? They would not.
Why
do you happy.
disrespect the family? Yeah.
It's so good. I'm gonna be making sauce the next time you cut to me. Like,
I'm gonna get like I'm gonna get a phone call from Kevin Demoff of the Rams, and he'd be like, "We share the same facility. You're right across the sidewalk, and yet you betray me." It's not personal. The Rams will be back, but this is not their year. I don't even know. They don't even know who their quarterback is going to be this week right now because Matthew Stafford, unfortunately, back in concussion protocol. John Wolford, the backup, he's hurt. All sorts
Bryce
of
Perkins.
Bryce Perkins. Oof, unbelievable. How about that?
Love it.
Which team in the bottom half of the rankings do we feel best or most confident in moving up the board? And Connie, you know, speaking of sad music, the season for the Detroit Lions, it was sad. There was hard knocks, there was excitement, but then there were losses. There was a loss in the opener. There were a defense that just continued to hemorrhage yards and points, and all of a sudden they were 1-6. And
dark. It was dark times.
Dan Campbell giving sad press conference after sad press conference. And you started to wonder, Connie, if this was what it was. And we'd be hearing sad Ian Rappaport updates in January about Dan Campbell and whether he was going to survive for a third season.
I know. A nightmare, really, truly.
And then, but then,
And then the light. We started to
and
see
then
it.
a light peeks through the clouds, and the Lions win a game. And then they go on the road and they win another game. And then they go on the road again and they win another game against the Giants and our Detroit Lions, the team we covered on the Hard Knocks podcast. Check it out if you haven't. It's evergreen. They are on a roll, second place in the NFC North, Connie, and in the mix for the NFC wildcard race.
3 straight wins for the first time since 2017.
Yow!
I mean, look at the Lions go. This was so fun to watch. I mean, you had Aiden Hutchinson, a pick machine now. He didn't even have any picks when he was at Michigan. He's got 2 now this season. Jamal Williams, come on, a huge day for him. This is 3 touchdowns he had. Now 12 this season. He leads the league. They're moving the ball. They're taking the ball away on defense. They're getting it done, and they got the Bills on Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's great. And that was a game that had zero juice 3 weeks ago, but then the Bills started struggling and they came down a little bit, and the Lions are on the come up, and all of a sudden that's going to be a game I think everyone's excited to see. And it is, the offense has been pretty consistent all year. It's been good. It's been a good offense, led surprisingly by leading touchdown scorer Jamal Williams, our favorite dancer from the Hard Knocks season. But it's the defense in the last couple of weeks that's kind of finding its identity under our buddy Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator. I feel bad for, I think it was Anthony Pleasant, who got let go from the staff Aubrey Pleasant, who got let go right as everything took off. But that's what's happened here. 3 straight weeks. Their defense has been very consistent. They're making plays, and they're going to be fun to watch. They are developing now, and it's not going to be another talk of, well, they're fun and they're a lovable loser, but they still stink. Maybe they're actually getting better.
Yeah,
Anything
maybe
else?
I should stop talking about the Chargers and just get more on the Lions side of things. That's what I'm going to do. I need to wash my hands of the Chargers. I'm done. And now I'm going all in on the Lions.
But you were already in on the Lions, weren't you? The Chargers could use help. They a lot of Chiefs fans
they're
in that
dead to me
building
now.
on Sunday night. Wow. What betrayal. You've betrayed me one too many times. You were the one.
A lot.
I'm trying to remember my Godfather quotes. My dad would be disappointed.
Oh, you got to rewatch.
It's time for a rewatch. All right, Connie, you've said it all. That's it for the power rankings as we approach week 12. So make sure you're back here next week, same time, same place. We'll recap everything that happened. Until then, feed me a Godfather quote.
I know it's something. I'm trying to think of one right now.
All right, I'm going to look it up right now. Famous Godfather
Until next time,
quote.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. Don't get in too many fights with your family.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving. And if for you families that are expecting children, I hope that their first child be a masculine child. Till next week.
Great. Good one. Bye.